They just made this so much worse. In the wake of the Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis trade, there are a lot of emotions all over the place when it comes to the Mavericks fandom, to the point where yesterday, before the Houston Rockets game, Mavericks fans took it to the streets, and in front of the AAC arena, they were protesting right in front of Dirk's statue, letting it be known exactly how they feel about this team trading away their absolute best player. But up until this point, we have yet to hear from anybody in the ownership on why they did it, how they did it, what do they think about this trade. Up until now, we just got a quote from the owners on why they traded Luka Doncic, and fans are not happy about it. So in this video, we're going to look at this quote, break it all down, and see why they did this, what do they have to say, and does it make any sense, as well as we do have pictures from yesterday's protest that I'm going to show you guys. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavericks Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we're currently sitting at 19,219 subscribers. I just want to say thank you to everybody that subscribed, who's been along for this crazy ride that we've been on during this trade season. We're getting very, very close to 20K. But if you're enjoying everything that we're doing here at Mavericks Digest, with our watch-alongs, our news vids, everything else in between, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. But like I said, in the wake of the Luka Doncic trade, everybody's emotions is running high, mine included, as Luka Doncic meant a lot to the people of Dallas, and not just to the city, but to the whole country of Slovenia, to everybody that Luka Doncic touched, everybody who watched him play the game of basketball at a very high level, or even back when he was a kid playing for Real Madrid. People were just connected to Luka. And when he came to the Dallas Mavericks, when we drafted him, everybody knew that he was going to be special, and right away from the jump, he was touching hearts. Everybody felt connected, a part of the Mavericks fan base, thanks in part to Luka Doncic. And obviously, when the owners decided to trade away Luka, a lot of people feel hurt. A lot of people don't feel that connection anymore. They're trying to find answers. They don't know what to do. And because of this, there has been a lot of conspiracy theories going all over the place. People saying that the team's going to move to Vegas, that this was an inside job from Adam Silver, that Nico's the fall guy. It's been a crazy, crazy week since Luka's been traded. And even though it doesn't make sense, people are trying to find answers, as the answers that we've been given don't feel good enough. And if we take a look at this right here, Mark Stein tweeted this out, saying the Mavericks team statement to me Mavericks team statement to my DLLS teammate Tim Cato in response to relocation speculation that has circulated this week. Just one element of his excellent story below, saying the Adelson and Dumont families have already started and are committed to investing in building in Dallas, Fort Worth. The families have absolutely no plans to move the team out of North Texas, and at this point, after trading away Luka in the dead of night, not telling him, being all sneaky and weird about it, we don't believe anything that they're saying. Now, I don't want to sit here and spin tales and put on my tinfoil hat and give you a long-winded video about the conspiracy theory about us moving to Vegas. I'm not going to do that. However, I don't want to have anybody just believe blatantly what these ownerships are saying. They're obviously going to lie to tell you what you want to hear. They're investing in Fort Worth. They're investing in Dallas. Sure, let's see it. I did see a report that they are reconsidering sports betting and sports gambling in Texas. So maybe that's all part of it. But at the end of the day, it's all about money to them. I understand that basketball is a business. That's what it is. But when it becomes more of a business and less about the sport, this is what happens. You're trading away your best player. You're focused on building casinos and resorts instead of focusing on the game of basketball. The main reason why people are here. People don't go to basketball games to try and pull slot machines and play craps and play blackjack. That's not why people go to games. Yes, there is sports betting. Yes, there's parlays and all of that. But that can't be the main focus of basketball. It still has to be the sport. And speaking of the sport, our owners finally spoke out and gave their own reason why they trade away Luka, and I promise you, no one's going to be happy with this response. So let's take a look at it right now. Very long response, but per the Dumonts and Adelsons, they started by saying, in my mind, the way teams win is by focus, by having the right character, by having the right culture, and having the right dedication to work as hard as possible to create a championship-winning outcome, Dumont said. And if you're not doing that, you're going to lose. Dumont's tone again turned forceful, saying, if you look at the greats in the league, the people you and I grew up with, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, they worked really hard every day with a singular focus to win, he said. And if you don't have that, it doesn't work. If you don't have that, you shouldn't be part of the Dallas Mavericks. That's who we want. I'm unwavering on this. The entire organization knows this. This is how I operate outside of basketball. This is the only way to be competitive and win. If you want to take a vacation, don't do it with us. It was pointed out to Dumont that when people read these comments, the assumption will be he is inferring to Doncic did not fit those winning culture qualities. He said, look, I think there's a lot of things that come into play when you decide the roster of a team, Dumont said, and culture is very important. That's what we're focused on. This quote is absolute garbage, and we're going to break this down. First of all, he's talking about culture, and I've seen it over and over again, this culture. I'm sorry, but Luka Doncic was the culture. He had winning culture. He's been winning even before he was in the NBA. He was overseas as a kid winning. He knows how to win. We just made it to the NBA Finals on the back of the guy you traded. I don't know what this talk is about. We need guys with the right mentality, winning culture. And yes, was Luka Doncic perfect? No. Luka Doncic had his own deficiencies. He had his own things about him that made him human. We're all human. We all make mistakes. Yes, Luka wasn't always dedicated on defense, but when he tried, he was one of the best defenders out there. Luka did argue with the refs a lot. He didn't always get back. There were obvious things that he did, just like any great player. There are parts of your game that do lack a little bit. But in the grand scheme of things, Luka Doncic was a Shaquille, I'm sorry, not a Shaquille O'Neal, but he was an MJ. He was a Larry Bird. He was a Magic Johnson. He was a LeBron James. He was those great players. As far as Shaquille O'Neal goes, I don't know why he mentioned him as far as work ethic. Shaquille O'Neal let himself go after he won his first championship, and Kobe had to force him to try and win more, to the point where that's why Shaq left the LA Lakers. He went to Miami, he won another one. But as we all know, the downside of Shaq's career, he gained a lot of weight. He got way out of shape. He looks how people think Luka looks now. And Luka, they say he's 270, and I just don't see it. But for the ownership to say that winning culture, the right attitude, the right mentality, you're saying that Luka didn't fit these things. And I find it very disrespectful for our owners and our GM, because Nico isn't innocent in any of this. He's also at fault. But for our ownerships and our GM to just have these vile things to say about Luka on the way out the door, instead of just highlighting the great things that he did. The fact that he got us to 2 Western Conferences and a finals in the last 3 to 4 years. The fact that he never really complained or threatened to want to be traded. That he was always invested in this team. That he took Dirk's approach to basketball and the Mavericks to heart, and he wanted to be the next Dirk. He saw that statue in front of the American Airlines Center, and he wanted his own. He bled blue, and that means he was a Dallas Maverick from the very start, and he wanted to be a Dallas Mavericks to the very end. If we take a look at this quote again, well, I just don't get it. Is the very last thing. He said, look, I think there's a lot of things that come into play when you decide the roster of a team, and culture is very important. That's what we're focused on. I wouldn't say that the players that we have now don't fit that. I just really think that Luka also fits that. Did he have injuries? Yes, but guess what? We have a lot of players that have injuries. I mean, Najee Marshall can't stay healthy. He's always sick. Derrick Lively is starting to look injury prone. I mean, Kyrie's got a bulging disc in his back. Klay Thompson missed 2 full seasons, and we're praying and hoping he just holds together. And Anthony Davis, although he is fine, did just come back from an injury, and he also has a history of injuries. So all of this just sounds like they're just spitting in our faces, that these are fake excuses. This isn't the real reason why you traded Luka. I'd have way more respect for the owners if they just came out and said, we don't want to pay the luxury tax. We're trying to save money because we want to build casinos. Okay, cool. At least you're being honest. I'm still not happy, but at least you're being honest. But in all of this, a lot of emotions are running high, and the fans are definitely not happy about it. If we take a look right here, Haley MFFL tweeted this out saying, this was Luka during the playoffs last year where he left everything out on the court and did everything possible to get us the win. And these owners traded him away overnight and are now running a smear campaign about having the right culture and dedication. Luka's knees would not stop bleeding. Luka was wrapped up, taking painkiller injections. He was doing anything possible to stay on the court. If you've watched Mavericks basketball, if you've watched Luka Doncic, you know there is very little that could ever keep him off the court. Injuries are nothing to him. If he's listed as questionable, he may as well be playing. If we take a look here, out at the protests, this truck that said "Fire Nico Sell Team" was making its rounds in front of the American Airlines Center the entire evening. The entire day, really. More pictures, right? Like this one. People out there, they're protesting. They're letting their voice be heard. Will this bring Luka back? No. Will this actually force him to sell the team or fire Nico? No. And that's not the point. The point is, as fans, your voice does hold weight. Can it change the outcome of what happened? Can it reverse this trade? No. But what it can do is it can send a message that this is not okay. We're not going to just roll over and accept anything. The fans are a big part of this organization, and without the fans, there is no organization. There is no Mavericks. There's no MFFL if there are no fans. Now, obviously, there are fans that are still going to be fans of the Mavericks. There are people that have moved on or are okay with this. I'm sorry. But that's okay too. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to sit here and attack one side or the other. You can feel how you want to feel. But at the end of the day, we all have to agree that this was very backhanded. And as far as this whole culture thing, a winning mentality, somebody that isn't dedicated, let me show you this. Luka Doncic, as a Dallas Maverick, averaged 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, shooting 47% from the floor, 34% from 3, and 74% from the free throw line. He was a multi-time All-Star. He was a Rookie of the Year. He had all these accolades. He has a better resume than probably 90% of any player that's ever played the game of basketball, and he's only 25 years old, and he's only going to do more. I understand the focus of wanting to win now, but you can win now with Luka. Winning without Luka right now is going to be kind of hard, and then obviously with our future, we don't have that young cornerstone talent. Luka Doncic's don't just fall from trees. You don't just wake up one day and say, oh, I've got a generational talent. It doesn't work like that. But at the end of the day, it is a business, and I do hate that it feels more of a business than a sport, but that's just how it goes. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. How do you feel about the ownership's response? Do you agree with them? Do you think it's total BS? Let me know what you think. We have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for being so far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing a giveaway every single month on this channel. Only way to enter our giveaways is to become a channel member of any tier. But until next time, y'all take care, drink water. Peace.